Hey folks, welcome back. Thanks again for joining us. Got three things we're trying to address today. The first is that I have a second angle of footage with regard to the LA Pyramid video that I just posted recently, and it's from one of the security cameras here. The second thing is I go over a few prior captures within the context of the statistical odds of getting them in the first place and the questions it leaves me with. And then we transition from that into the concept of mimicry, given what's been going on in the world recently. So, yep, check it out, and we'll see you on the other side. Thank you. Check out the middle of the screen here, and you're going to see something just come into existence, right? And that's not how helicopters and airplanes come into view on a camera or in a video. They don't just appear like this. And that's particularly so with airplanes because every plane caught on this camera is going from left to right because it's from east to west flying towards the ocean in LAX. So, and if you want to call this a helicopter, I mean, you can, I guess, but what's most important about this footage and this angle and the source of the footage is the fact that it's a security camera. And so it allows us to track the timing of it. And this is what I mean. This is 6:24 and 34 seconds, right? And that's exactly when this thing comes in to view right there. So now we fast forward a bit. You see me down at the bottom left, and the thing is still right there where it was at 6:24 and 34 seconds. But now this is just under a minute later. This is 56 seconds later that I walked out, saw it, uh, noticed it, said, that's not normal. That's huge. Let me record it. And then I captured this footage. So then I hit record. I'm recording it while I'm watching it with the naked eye. And it's like 10, 12 seconds later, it decides to like dim out and then kind of just fade off to the east. So there's a couple takeaways from this. First, you don't have to be a math genius to know this entire event lasted less than 2 minutes. But more importantly, if I had walked outside a minute earlier, I would have missed it. If I walked outside a minute later, I would have missed it. If I walked outside when I did, but my head was down, I would have missed it. If I walked outside, but I was looking north toward the mountains, I would have missed it. If I walked outside and was looking west toward the ocean, I would have missed it. I mean, there are so many reasons and opportunities for me to not see this. So many things had to happen in a certain way in order for me to have this experience, capture it, and then be able to share it. What I'm trying to express here is the statistical improbability of this footage existing. And what it leads to is something I call the experiencer's burden, because now I'm left trying to figure out why I saw this, why I captured it, and what I'm supposed to do with it. So here's a few other examples of that I've had over the years. This is one that I also shared recently, which I captured in Joshua Tree. And this thing hesitates when the plane comes by. Uh, Very clearly right there. But also when I was in Joshua Tree, I had an inclination to record a portion of the sky and I captured this. And I don't know what it is, uh, but I captured it. And then I was flying from Los Angeles to Mexico and decided to record out the window and I captured these four things streaking by the right side of the airplane. Uh, and again, it happens. I happened to record it. I don't know statistically what the odds are of capturing it, but I did. Here's another thing. I record it and then it's shiny and it's weird and then it kind of sees me or feels me recording and then it changes, dims out and leaves. And then you guys have seen this orb or whatever you want to call it is dancing around another one of my cameras and beckoning me to come outside. So eventually I come outside and then it kind of does a once over and starts hanging out with me, even though it's only visible in the infrared. And, just like the pyramid footage that we started out with, each of these five that I just reviewed leave me wondering why me and what am I supposed to do with this experience? All right, so we're going to round out with this mimicry concept. I showed you guys this thing, and a lot of people thought it was a balloon and made fun of me. And then I showed you the beginning of it, which is this. And clearly, balloons don't do this. And so it was a lot less funny then. But there's a mimicry component here because it did look like a balloon. And then there's this thing, or things, plural. It was splitting up from 1 to 2 to 3 to 1 to 2. And who knows what it is? But it was in plain sight. It was in the middle of the day, uh, but it seems to be mimicking prosaic subjects, I guess. And then there's this thing that kind of looks like an insect. I mean, from a distance, maybe, but once you see it at real speed, you're like, oh, that's fast. Insects don't do this. No, this is mimicry. And then this disturbing thing that is kind of pretending to be a bald eagle with its coloration, but is quote unquote flying in a non aerodynamic fashion, has no plumage, no beak, no nothing. And it goes again super fast. That's not a bird. And then these things, this is whatever this is mimicking a cloud. I mean, again, the speed is crazy, but you slow it down and you look at it and you go, no, 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 that's not a cloud. So, as far as I'm concerned, there's a presence here and it has the ability to mimic everything that we know. So, it doesn't surprise me that people are looking up and seeing quote unquote drones and can't figure out what they're looking at. All right, there you go. Yeah, I'm a little embarrassed that it didn't occur to me sooner to check my own security cameras with regard to that pyramid footage, but I'm glad I did. And, having the timer there really adds data in terms of how long the thing was there, when it got here, when it left, and all of that. And I also feel like it sort of validates uh, me in a way because I say a lot of times, like, I shouldn't statistically have seen this, but I did. And I feel like the timing there gives credence to the point I make when I say that. So, yeah, it's interesting. And then, with the mimicry stuff, I mean, it kind of, to me, it speaks for itself. I'm seeing the world go through these mental gymnastics, trying to sort out in their minds why things look like drones but don't totally behave like drones or airplanes or whatever. And I get it because I've been through the same mental gymnastics myself with the captures that I feature here on the channel. So yeah, it's interesting, and obviously these are fascinating times to be alive and be mentally present for what's happening. So anyway, please get in the comments, let me know what you think, and share this video with other people you think might enjoy it. And we will talk to you and see you on the next one. Thanks a lot.